Hey everyone, we are back here at Universal for this week's Halloween Horror Nights construction update. A lot has happened in the last week. There's been more set dressing, more props that have gone out, and we've had the first food booths pop up.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited to see those. I can't wait for them to drop those menus, which I know they haven't yet, and I think it's a little bit late. They usually drop them by now.
It's usually a little bit closer to the start of the event.
Yeah, the start of the event is very, very soon. We're gonna be here before you know it.
Alex is hungry. Universal, you need to drop those menus.
Yes.
We'll give you guys a full update as to what's going on, so let's not waste any more time and head in Universal Studios. Halloween Horror Nights begins 2 weeks from this Friday, so we are just over 2 weeks away. No sign of the medallion or any of the banners out here just yet, but they will be coming soon. And oh my gosh, before we even get in, I'm seeing the sign. The neon Halloween Horror Nights sign is out. So on this first truss right here at the entrance, nothing really new. They've just added the speakers out in the front so that everybody that's gonna be watching the opening ceremonies can hear what's going on. All right, we're just getting into the park now. This looks really, really good. And yeah, right in the front, they added the neon Halloween Horror Nights sign. Now, something that is a little confusing to me is they said the sign was gonna be like a teal blue, and they confirmed that at like the panels that they were doing, but this looks like the traditional red one that they've always done. So I'm curious to see if this changes at all or not, but it looks exactly the same as the signs in the past. And then you can see they've added the big gates over here as the entrance to the conservatory. We have a couple of massive gargoyles out here too. These are super cool. Just to give you a sense of the scale of this archway and the gates, here's the truss. You can see that the columns go like 3/4 of the way up the truss, and the gates are really, really tall. The gates are actually taller than the Today Cafe building that's right there. Wow, this is super cool. I'm so excited because I feel like the front scare zone should always be the way that it welcomes you into the park, gives you that full HHN feel, and we haven't had that, but it looks like it's gonna be back. So this front scare zone is gonna be the origins of horror, and versus the last time, it looks like they've added just a little bit of texture work to the staging over here. It looks real weathered and old. They added the gates on both sides. It's gonna be really cool. There are a couple of steps, so a performer will be over here. So we're gonna head deeper into the origins of horror and just kind of see what's new. I'm not expecting a lot of change versus last week. Okay, so I was completely wrong. I thought there wasn't gonna be many changes, but they've added the carvings, like the statues that the artists have made to each of the booths over here. Now, a lot of people feel like these are gonna be the IPs. I think so as well, because each of them has a little symbol that corresponds what it's supposed to be. I genuinely can't figure out most of them. The only one that's blatantly obvious is Freddy Fazbear for Five Nights at Freddy's, but these are definitely here. They're all covered up. So let's go see what the other ones look like. Here's another one right here, just in front of VillainCon. Here is another one. This is the one that is gonna be Five Nights at Freddy's. It's the most obvious to me because the little symbol in the back is very clearly Freddy Fazbear, which tells me these are all gonna be the IP carvings. It's just hard to make out what the other ones are because they're a little bit more abstract, but they're here. And oh my gosh, the one that's right across from Bake My Day is huge. And you can see this is obviously a chainsaw. So my theory that these were gonna be the carvings that the artists made with the chainsaws was definitely correct. This is all completely covered up. You can't see anything, but you could very clearly make out that this is a chainsaw. So you weren't here for the last construction update. So like everything you're gonna see today is like new.
I know. Last time I was over here in Hollywood, they had the stages, but they didn't add all like the extra decorations to it. And these two pieces, when you first walk in, are brand new. I haven't seen these yet at all.
Yeah, they just were trusses the last time we were here. Actually, the outer framing of it might have been done, but they've added a ton of theming to this. They have like all these vines and plants that they've added to it as well. They put the gates on. This looks awesome. Now, vines are gonna be something that you see throughout the entire event this year because it has that conservatory, like abandoned type feel to it. The vines were also on the first shirt that came out, but this looks so good. And these look different too. They've added some props to the stages.
Wow, there's like a lot more detail here. When I was here last time, it was just the stage. Like none of the vines, none of the candles off to the side, none of this stuff. And there's definitely something scary under that sheet.
There's definitely a body or something.
I don't know if there's like a dead body or what, but there's something scary. And then if you zoom in close, there's a pedal there.
Yeah, there's a trigger pedal right there for the scare actor. I wonder what this is. Like, I guess it's gonna be like a table of some sorts, because there's a chair over here on the other side. So I wonder if this is gonna be just like a table and chair type scenario. This chair has been actually bolted into the ground, I guess for safety. Yeah, here's the back side of the chair. They've added all these plants and vines just like they did to the other ones. And we got another one over here on the cat stage. There's definitely something gross under there. Honestly, by the looks of it, given the height of the chairs, might be missing a head.
I know. I was gonna say maybe there's a head on the table.
I don't know.
Because the table's covered too.
Yeah, the table's covered. So there's definitely some gross stuff going on that table and chairs over here. But you could see, like, just for like storytelling, these tables and chairs have been through it. Like, they're weathered, they're ripped. Also too, maybe not, but I feel like the coverings that they're using this year are also better themed. I feel like in the past they've been pretty plain, but these actually look like it blends in with everything else that's going on here. Then here's a closer look at some of the vine work and the plants that they've added to the side. Not really gonna show each stage in terms of like the plant work that they've added, just because it is like very, very similar. But yeah, it looks really, really good. Oh wow, it's even on the back too. Look at this. Wow, so they got all the twigs and the branches and the vines. Then there's two more. This one is the one that's in front of Schwab's Pharmacy. This one has two things that are covered. I can kind of tell that that's gonna be a person for sure. I don't know what this is. Not really sure, I'm not even gonna speculate, but they added a couple gargoyles out to the front. I love the gargoyles. I can't wait to see like gargoyle scare actors. I really, really hope that they have those.
This one has a lot of vines on it. It's like covered in vines. And then the thing that's covered in the front here kind of looks like a person like hunched over.
Yeah.
I think. And then the table in the back there is also covered. So I don't know what's under that sheet.
This one's crazy. I can't believe how much like vines are on this one compared to the other ones.
I know.
This is like the oldest, like most decrepit little stage that they have over here. I'm gonna come around this side and see if we could see anything over here. So we got a better shot of like the little table and chairs, and then there's something on that table that's obviously gross. There's a trigger pedal right over there. There's also a light right in front of the railing, so this will be all lit up. And then there's the pedal for the scare actors, but this looks so good. All right, so we popped in the 5 and 9 to see if they restocked any of the merch that they didn't have last week. Looks like there's plenty of sizes in the Five Nights at Freddy shirt, so no longer have to go over to Islands, although they definitely have more stock usually. They do have the Freddy Fazbear little piece for the stained glass piece, but let's see if they have any of the Wyatt stuff. Oh, this is awesome. Look at this. They have a Wyatt 6 shirt right here. I actually wish this was short sleeve because I would 100% get it, but the design on it is awesome. You have Mercy the Buzzard, Ramblin' Rabbit, Uncle Howdy, Abby the Witch. You have all the characters on there. It says Halloween Horror Nights 2025 on the bottom, and it looks like they have basically all sizes.
This is the only large. I just grabbed it for you.
Oh, nice. Because I was thinking we would have to go over to the boutique, because I know they had them over there. That's awesome.
I actually really like this Freddy Fazbear shirt. It's $37, and it's kind of cool because like it goes from like, it's almost like an ombre. It goes from like a washed look down to black.
Yeah.
And you could see like the edges are kind of like torn.
Yeah, it's meant to look like an old shirt.
Yeah.
But I like the design of that.
And then
it says
has
Halloween Horror Nights on the back.
Here you could kind of see the coloring better on the back.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's not many sizes. Right now, there's just extra smalls and extra larges.
Extra large, extra large, 2XL.
For $18, they have this patch set with Freddy and all the characters. This is really cool too, if you're into like denim jackets or you want to put it on a backpack. And then for $25, they have the photo frame for this year.
They also have this shirt, which I think is new, because I haven't seen it
Yeah,
last
it's definitely
time.
new.
It's kind of a weird style of a shirt with like the cutout here.
Yeah, I'm not digging this one.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, but it is $35. Essie, a national treasure in the Five and Dime. She was so cute with our daughter.
She's the best.
Yeah, she was awesome, so friendly. So if you ever see her, make sure you say hi.
Also have some big updates over here at the HHN bar. It is fully set up. So the other day they cleared out all the benches that are normally here, and now they're ready to go. Again, just like the other food booths we've seen, no menus just yet, but we have that similar theming with all the vines taken over. They've added this like black drapes, like netting almost looks like, you know, fish netting. But yeah, they're ready to go. This is almost fully set up. They have all the little stations over here. That's basically the only change. I don't want to downplay it because it's absolutely huge, but nothing really new over here, like by the lights or the TV screens. However, I did notice that these covers say Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights, which is pretty cool.
This is the scare zone I feel like I'm most excited for, just because I am the cat lady of Crooked Lane. So I haven't been here since they added all of these details. This looks amazing. Like, I am so excited for this. I love that it's like all the like traditional like Halloween decorations. We'll show you when we go in. And then they also added the storybook pages to tell the story.
Very cool.
I can't wait. It looks so good.
We showed a lot of this in our last video, so I'm not gonna go over all the details, but it looks like they did add a do not enter sign. And there was just so much here, like the last time we came. No way am I gonna be able to tell what's new or like what they added. But yeah, this is gonna be super cool. The pumpkins and the trees look amazing. I can't wait to see like all the pumpkins lit up at night. Like, do you have any idea how cool that's gonna look once it's all connected and lit up?
I'm like obsessed with this. Wait, oh, I thought that was Little Boo, but I don't think it is. He's a lookalike.
I don't know if Little Boo is in the trees. I have to come and do like a full scan. I haven't seen anybody else kind of talk about Little Boo just yet, so I don't know if he's in here or not, but I just love all like the kitschy decorations. So these are oh, I just heard a cat sound effect.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I just heard that.
Are they testing?
Yeah, I heard like a
Yeah, I definitely heard that. And look at the cat lady's house. It looks completely different versus the last time we were here. I thought it looked really good the last time. They've added so much to it. There's just vines all over the place. It looks like a real house. Like, this looks like somebody would actually live here. Has a front porch, a full front porch, and a rocking chair. Look at this rotted pumpkin. That is so cool. My gosh, there's all these things. You could see, like, these belong to the kids that got left here. There's a backpack, there's a mask. You have a bicycle with a helmet. Obviously, these have been here for a while. They've been overtaken by the vines. You have like toys. Look at this creepy clown. They also added a whole extension to this house. This is absolutely crazy. Like, they have stairs over here. So I'm assuming the cat lady maybe will come like up and down, and she'll kind of hang out in front of the house over here as well. I am noticing a trigger pedal right there in the corner, but look at this like crazy extension that they added. This reminds me of like Beetlejuice, like the Beetlejuice graveyard with all like the fake turf and the fake grass. You have this dirt with a shovel in it. There's a hole right here, so I wonder if something's gonna be like popping out of the hole. That would be crazy, like if they did like an animatronic hand or like a skeleton or something. But this is just insane. Let me ask you, since you live here and this is your house, what's the mortgage payment on the cat lady's house?
That can't be told to all the viewers. It has to be kept under wraps.
In our last video, I talked about how like that scare zone climbed the rankings for me after seeing everything they did, and that was before they even like finished the cat lady's house. Now that the cat lady's house is finished, I mean, that is definitely number one. It looks so good, and like I said, it looks like they took it out of one of the haunted houses and they put it into a scare zone. So I have really high hopes for this scare zone. As long as I've been coming to HHN, I have not seen a set piece like that. And outside of the animal actor stage, the food booths over here are all getting ready. You can see that vine work starts and finishes all the way at the end, which is really cool. I'm curious what they're gonna have here. There's always some interesting food items that they have over here at this booth. Nothing else really going on just yet other than like this front facade that they've added with the vines. But again, I just love how like the vines are all over the place. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. We found the Friday the 13th food booth. They've added the little sign out to the front of it. It says, "Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake, established 1935. Has all the vines over here. As we were seeing these pictures like being posted before they added the sign on Instagram or whatever, I had a feeling this was gonna be the Jason food booth just because it looked like a cabin. And they have the little lantern lights, which kind of gave it away. This door is very much like summer cabin. It's obviously made out of wood, but yeah, curious what they're gonna have here. And how cool is this? So the entrance for the team members to get in the back has a sign. It says counselors only. That is so good. No major updates over here by Nightmare Fuel. They haven't added the sign out front just yet. Obviously they're doing a lot of work inside getting ready for the show, but the outside looks exactly the same. Chill out in the cool zone. Here's the cool zone. Feels good though.
It does, but like this is the cool zone, just like a giant fan.
I mean, it's nice that they have them, but shouldn't the cool zone be in the shade?
That's a legit fan.
So we're making our way past the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Not a whole lot to update you on there. It's the same props basically every year that they use for the Death Eaters, and we saw those a few weeks ago when they first put them out. So not gonna go inside of Diagon Alley, but just in case you're not aware, the Death Eaters will be back for HHN this year. But for now, we're gonna head into San Francisco and check out Club Horror. Not expecting any changes here because it's just gonna kind of be a dance party area, but I'm curious if there is anything. And it might not be much, but we have our first piece of theming for Club Horror. Obviously they set up the DJ booth, they have the truss with all the lights, but this truck has popped up overnight over here. It has the Club Horror logo on it, and then it also has a number of like little spouts. So obviously they're gonna be serving beverages here. I don't know if this is gonna be like an alcoholic spot. My guess would be yes. But yeah, there's gonna be at least 6 different types of drinks. This is most likely gonna be an alcoholic thing. You could see like a little mini pop-up bar that's over here at least. I don't think it's gonna stay here because obviously somebody can't serve from behind there. But yeah, they have a little bar over here, and then they have the drink truck with the little spouts. So while you're getting your dance on, you'll be able to get your drink on. Universal also confirmed the overlay for Five Nights at Freddy's to one of their restaurants, which is most likely gonna be Louis'. However, I stopped inside of Louis' and everything looks exactly the same. So if they are gonna do an overlay, I feel like they're kind of running out of time, but we'll see. It might not be anything too crazy.
So we found here in the New York side street that they have the Fallout food booth over here, Vault 33.
Awesome.
Some vines. It looks really good. They always do such a good job at like theming the food booths. It looks so good.
Yeah, and just like the Jason food booth we showed you, this one still has the vine, so still has that like connective tissue of the whole conservatory theme. Even though it has nothing to do with the show, you can see that, but this booth looks really cool. Excited to see what kind of menus they have. I'm assuming there's gonna be a Nuka-Cola of some sorts. Hopefully it's non-alcoholic so that I can try it, or they have a non-alcoholic option. But there is Fallout. And then over here is the one that I'm personally most excited for because I'm a massive wrestling fan. But here is the Firefly Funhouse booth for the Wyatt 6 and Bray Wyatt. This is so awesome. It honestly looks like a set from the show. I mean, rest his soul, but I wish, you know, Bray Wyatt could just come walking out that door. This looks really, really cool. The same sign that they used for the show. You got Mercy the Buzzard, Ramblin' Rabbit, Abby the Witch up there. And I'm curious to see what kind of food they serve here because within the whole, you know, Wyatt storyline, there's nothing that you could really say would be a food item. So they're gonna have to get creative with this one, but I'm excited to see what they do. These last two are gonna be your favorites.
Oh.
Terrifier.
Oh, I was like, does that say Clown Cafe? Oh,
it's from the movie.
Absolutely not. Let's just hope they have good food. That's the only reason I'm going to go there.
But yeah, here are the 2 Terrifier booths. The first one is the Clown Cafe. Of course, that's from the movie. And then this one is the entrance to the Funhouse. This is going to be actually very similar to the house facade as well. So here you go. You got 2 Terrifier booths right here directly in front of the Transformers bar. And then on the side of the Terrifier booth, they added this giant Art the Clown decal, and Universal actually recently shared some more information about the Terrifier house and Art the Clown himself. So let's take a look. So Laura Sauls was interviewed in a recent SFX article and said it could be the bloodiest house we've ever done in HHN history. So much so, in fact, that they recommended wearing a poncho. In the final scene, Art's Symphony of Gore, you can choose the wet or dry path. Both are horrific in their own right, but if you go down that wet path, you will get wet. And it's not typical HHN wet. You will walk out of there soaked. A new detail that she revealed is that Art the Clown will be stalking everyone throughout the park, noting that variations of the Killer Clown could appear in queues, stores, restaurants, and dark, dark alleys that no one wants to go down. Oh no, the Fanta bar is back again. The Transformers bar has some signage up. It says Wanta Fanta. But do people say Fanta? I call it Fanta. I don't know if that's just wrong, but Wanta Fanta, Wanta Fanta, I have no idea. I don't know why like they're sticking with this Fanta theme. They must be pumping them decent money to get the sponsorships. But we have some string lights that are hanging up over here, some red and blue, and then you just have that logo going on. No menus or anything like that, but yeah, like let's move on from the Fanta, please. Over here in New York now and checking out the progress on Mutation's Toxic 20s. A lot of things changed versus a couple of days ago. They added the cable wires, because obviously this was the scene of the crash that caused the BuzzCon spill. This is the getaway car right over here in the story. And obviously they took the pole out. You can see the pole is all broken, so they added the cable wires. They also added a body over here. So this guy's definitely gonna be all covered up and gruesome. There's also a hat right there as well. I wonder if that's Diamond Joe Malone's hat, but you have a little like 1920s hat there. Here is the BuzzCon barrel that is responsible for the spill. You can see, I wonder if they're gonna add like sludge or anything like toxic coming, out of that and onto the ground over here. I feel like that would be a good addition, like for storytelling purposes. They have a speaker. Looks like it's gonna be a speaker over here. You can tell by the mesh that's covering that up. So I wonder if there's gonna be like a little show element on here, or if it'll just be used for like Scare Zone audio. But yeah, here's all the BuzzCon barrels. And then here is the front of the car. I just love the cars in the Scare Zone. If you guys know me, I love old-timey things. I love old movies. So this is like right up my alley. On the side of the car door, it says Laboratory and Chemicals, BuzzCon Industries, USA. And then directly across from the car in front of Macy's, they have this florist stand, which is really cool. And the flowers are really pretty. I'm surprised they haven't like been decayed or anything, because there's all the poison that's kind of coming out over here. So here's the barrel. You can see all the poison nastiness that's kind of come down onto the little counter over here. So there's the barrel that's responsible for all that. But this is pretty cool. Obviously this is gonna open up. I'm sure there's gonna be a scare actor in here, which is pretty cool. They added a cash register as well. This is new. So they have like an old-timey cash register. Bunch of flowers that they use to kind of dress the set. How cool is this? Look at this police car. That's amazing. Isn't
That's
this
really
cool?
cool, yeah.
Wow.
It's like an old school police car.
Yeah, I mean, it is, I believe, a 20s themed
Ford.
Scare Zone. Yeah, I
It's
wonder
an
if this
old
actually
school Ford.
drives. That's amazing. If you're a car person, I wonder like what model this is, because this is really, really cool. It's got the police that have the city police department barricades up over there. Not a whole lot of other theming. There's a little look at the inside of it. But yeah, the cops are here. They're here to see what happened in the bank heist. The poisonous BuzzCon sludge has made its way into the streets of New York. Right at the entrance to Sting Alley, we have a newsstand that has popped up. You can see this is gonna be where the scare actor is gonna be going in and out. And there is a bunch of newspaper articles over here. So we will go over these and just kind of give you a little bit of the backstory as to what's going on. Over here on the back side, they have a bunch of like little cartoons. This one kind of looks like it would be a masquerade type of thing. It also says the cat's meow, so might be a little bit of a nod to the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, maybe. Maybe that's a reach. Also, I'm noticing on the Athletic and Sporting magazine, it says Paradoa's Athletic and Sporting. That's a nod to Ramon Paradoa, who's one of the leads on the creative team for HHN. Yeah, there's a number of like newspapers on here. We're gonna go newspaper by newspaper to give you the story, but it looks like the gist of it is there was a bank heist that involved a getaway car that crashed into a BuzzCon truck. Okay, so the first newspaper says Toxic City, BuzzCon Industries responsible. Motor accident caused by bank heist has resulted in spilling of multiple gallons of chemicals. BuzzCon truck cargo supposed to be toxic. Then there's another newspaper that gives you the backstory of what caused the crash. It says bank heist causes pandemonium. Getaway car crashes into BuzzCon truck. This happened Saturday at 9:48 p.m. Then it says gangster chase goes wrong. Police suspect Diamond Joe Malone and his gang. Public defender missing amidst chaos in the city. Diamond Joe suspected. So what do you think? You think it was Diamond Joe Malone? Is he responsible for the getaway crash?
He seems pretty shady.
He does seem pretty shady.
Yeah.
Also, too, in this scare zone, how many people you think are going to be talking like, oh, looky here, see?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
See, what's going on?
I think this is my second most hyped up scare zone. I'm excited for this one, too.
And back over here in Sting Alley, this tent has popped up, which I'm assuming is going to be related to the food booth that's gonna be over here in this area. There almost always is one, but yeah, nothing I could really see other than just this tent. Also, they did confirm that this year's tribute store is gonna be inside of the arcade. It's also gonna bleed over into Sahara Traders. Very interested to see like how this plays out, because it's not that big of a space. It's also an anniversary year, so we may be getting like a scaled down version of the tribute store. I hope not, because it's always one of my favorite things. I just don't know how they're gonna pull it off over here. So I popped into Sahara Traders because this is gonna be like a portion of the tribute store. The tribute store is gonna be the arcade as well as Sahara Traders. They already have a bunch of the HHN merchandise that's kind of out and about over here. The theming already starts. So I'm really curious like how this is gonna work this year, just because they're saying it's gonna be the biggest space for the tribute store ever, but I don't really know how that's gonna be the case. Also, have never been like backstage at the arcade, so maybe there's more space that they have to work with, but they have some different like set pieces and things over here. Then it says, please pardon our dust and appearance while we add a new exhibit for you to enjoy, Museum of Antiquities. And wow, look at this. They actually didn't waste any time in putting out some HHN merch, or new HHN merch, I should say. This is brand new for today. This is $33. This is the Scare Zone shirt. I can't remember if we showed this in any of our videos or not, but Laura Soul was seen wearing this at one of the panels. I believe it was the UK panel. And then on the back, it says the Origins of Horror. So this is your Scare Zone shirt for 2025. Really, really like the design of this. For $37, they have a new Terrifier shirt. It's the Clown Cafe, which is one of the food booths that we showed you. Here's art right there on the front. And I'm curious if it says Halloween Horror Nights anywhere aside from the tag. Doesn't look like it. This was the same thing with the original Terrifier shirt that came out. I'm not seeing Halloween Horror Nights anywhere except for the little tag in the back. This shirt came out like a week ago, I believe. I actually like the design of this one a lot. This is also $33. Not the biggest fan of Terrifier, but I do like the artwork on here. And then here's a Blumhouse shirt, which is interesting because this has all different like Blumhouse properties that have been featured here in the past. So you have Megan, the Black Phone, Freaky, Happy Death Day. But I do like the design of this one too. I love like the designs that have the universal arches in the background. I think it's really cool. And then it has Blumhouse on the bottom. Oh, that's the back of the shirt. Oh, I thought that was the front. That's actually the back. The front has the standard Halloween Horror Nights logo on it. And then this is gonna be the back hit. And then I was also looking at the Scare Zone shirt. And then aside from the back, like in really small print, it doesn't say Halloween Horror Nights anywhere. So I've noticed like a lot of the shirts, it's hit or miss whether or not like it's obvious that it's an HHN shirt, but the Scare Zone one just kind of says it right there on the bottom of the Origins of Horror, but nothing on the sleeve and nothing on the front. Also found another new piece of merch over here. This is the annual pass holder shirt for HHN. So you got the gargoyles, all the vines, sticking with that conservatory feel. And then it says Universal Orlando Resort on the bottom. I do not like that font at all. That is very generic. The rest of the shirt design is pretty cool. I'm just not crazy about that Universal Orlando Resort font. That's just like a default font. But either way, this is also $33. Here's my biggest thing with the tribute store being where it is this year. So Universal's saying this is gonna be like one of the biggest tribute stores that they do. And like I said, I have no idea how much extra space they can kind of go maybe backstage with the arcade. I have no idea what's really in there. I've been there when like all the arcade games are set up. I didn't think it was that big of a space. And then it's also gonna bleed into Sahara Traders, which is the exit for the Mummy ride, which is a ride that is open during HHN. And if you've been in that gift store, as people are coming down, it could get really, really tight and crammed. So the fact that like part of the tribute store is gonna be using that space while people are also riding the ride and exiting, it's really odd. I don't know, like I'm gonna like reserve judgment fully until I see it, because if anybody knows how to work with limited space, it's Universal. They almost always do a good job with the tribute stores, but I just wish it was in a different spot so that like we didn't have to worry about bottlenecks and crowds and anything like that. And since it is an anniversary year, I was hoping they were gonna go all out. Maybe they are, but the space that they chose for this is really strange, especially given they haven't done it before. Like, why didn't they just do it in the New York store? I know there's construction over there. I know it's gonna be tight to get in and out of that store, but I feel like that would be better than over here because now you have to deal with all the people that are getting off of the Mummy. So we'll see. It opens in a couple of weeks, right before HHN, the annual pass holder previews. So we'll come back and we'll check it out, but I have my doubts. Out here at City Walk, they have a sign promoting the Dead Coconut Club, which is gonna have a coven themed. So we're gonna have a witch overlay for Dead Coconut this year. It says nightly during Halloween Horror Nights, opens at 5 p.m. Entertainment, exclusive drink offerings, free admission, and all ages are welcome. So that's gonna do it for this week's Halloween Horror Nights update. It's crazy to think. We have what, like maybe 2 more videos before
crazy.
HHN, and then it's here.
I cannot wait. It's gonna be a good year.
It's gonna be really good. All the scare zones look awesome, and like we know the houses are gonna be good. There's too many good IPs this year, and then the originals sound great, but to see like all the love going back into the scare zones again, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm very excited that they focused their attention on that, and you can just tell, like for example, in the Cat Lady Scare Zone, the amount of detail and immersion that they did, super cool.
Yeah, so the next big update, other than just like little things that they're gonna add to the scare zones that we'll cover, is gonna be the food menus.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see when they drop those. 2 weeks to the event, we're super excited. Let us know down in the comments below what house and what scare zone you're looking forward to the most this year. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel down below so you don't miss out on all of our future Halloween Horror Nights content to come. And with that being said, we'll see you guys real soon.